So Ubisoft is spying on you, I guess. Ubisoft is going to determine where you are based on your IP address, and they're going to automatically fill that state in on your information page, on your account information, and gamers aren't having it. They're like, what the hell? Ubisoft is bad enough you're putting ads in Assassin's Creed or whatever they're doing. About this latest volley from Ubisoft against gamers. Remember, Ubisoft is the same company whose, I think it was their CFO, infamously said that gamers need to get used to not owning their games. And I think gamers are going to not own Ubisoft games going forward because of crap like this. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, this is Kneon, this is CLOWNFISH TV, and this is another blow for privacy, I guess. And look, it's not that big of a deal in and of itself, but it is part of a larger pattern, and that's something I think we're going to talk about, that every one of these tech companies, they seem to be colluding to form a digital ID, a digital profile. And it used to be that, you know, you'd have pieces of yourself all over the internet. That sounds bad, I know, but there would be, and people could cobble together a profile. But now all these companies are going to profile you, and eventually it's all going to come under the same banner. And I think we're going to see the rollout of digital ID. You're basically going to need a license to get on the internet, and it's going to have all your personal information on it. Well, hell, if you want to get paid from any of these websites now, you have to give them a driver's license, all that stuff, right? And I get it. I mean, you want to know who you're dealing with, but sometimes you just want to play a game, right? So this is coming from Pirate Nation. I got the same email, but I'm going to go out to his tweet because he gets a shit ton more interaction than I get. So whatever. So now companies need to keep track of where their users have been. Ubisoft is introducing a new state of residence field for players located in the US starting on April 30th of this year. This field will be automatically filled based on your most recent connection to their services. So this is what they sent out to gamers. On 4/30/2026, Ubisoft will introduce a new state of residence field in your Ubisoft player account for players located in the United States. This information helps us comply with state-specific regulations and to better assess legal requirements that may vary from one U.S. state to another. That is probably true. I'm sure it is true. But again, it's part of a bigger picture that's being painted, which is you're going to have a less and less privacy on the internet, just so you know. If you get on the internet at all, like Ubisoft would love to have all this data on you so they can market to you and whatever, narc on you, yeah, whatever it is. On 4/30, this field will be automatically based on your most recent connection to our services. You will be able to review and update this information at any time in your Ubisoft account information. If we are unable to determine a state of residence, this field will remain blank, and you will still be able to change your state of residence afterwards. So everybody fire up that VPN. You know, everybody's living in the Bahamas. Your state of residence will not be used for any advertising or marketing purposes. Bullshit. Bullshit. For more information on how Ubisoft collects, processes, and protects your data, refer to our privacy policy and help page. Thank you for helping us keep our community safe and enjoyable for everybody. Oh boy. This person's like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Telecommunications laws are starting to be enforced on the internet more strictly to get kids straying to degeneracy back in line and help protect the lawful users from fraud, piracy, identity theft, and more. The problem is, and yeah, on the surface, yes. Because, you know, again, see also Roblox. Seriously, I watched a video on YouTube the other day, and they had a class action. They had an advertisement for a class action lawsuit against Roblox. And they were literally, and it was an AI voice doing it, but it's like, has your child been exposed to indecency through Roblox? You might be able to get a piece of the pie. No pun intended. But no, it was serious. It was like telling you where to go, fill out forms. Are you a parent who's worried about what your kids are looking at on the internet, and you're on the internet looking at stuff right now and not watching what they're looking at on the internet? Well, you can sue the internet. You know, that's basically what it is. Ubisoft is now transitioning into a surveillance company, says Yasan, and this is announced on the verge of their Hail Mary, a definitive remake of a beloved game that's sure to make money. They sure love to shoot themselves in the foot. Yes, Ubisoft just keeps stepping on that rake, right? They just keep pissing gamers off at every turn. But the truth is, in this case, they're probably legally required to do this, but it's not going to go well. I'd rather pirate all the titles in my library and play without giving them more of my money. Says this guy, trial time expired. And pet, what the hell is this? Oh, I thought the dog was having his pet lab coat's an ad. And I thought the dog was like having explosive diarrhea. The Ubisoft thread. Hey, I didn't think I paid. I'm not supposed to have ads on X. What's going on here? Anyway, Heretic says, oh, right after a Chinese company takes control of Ubisoft. How interesting. This person says Ubisoft needs to go under at this point. Why the hell do they need to know where the people who play their games live? Where they live at? Huge invasion of privacy. This should be illegal. I suggest everyone do the same. Account.ubisoft.com. Cancel account closure. They're calling for people to cancel their Ubisoft accounts. I mean, if it took this, look, with all the garbage that Ubisoft has done and said and produced in the last 2 years, if this is the straw that breaks the camel's back, okay. I haven't purchased any Ubisoft games in probably 5 or 6 years, right? I just logged in for the first time in years just to close my account. Good job, Ubislop. You've deep-throated yet another L. Victor says we're losing our freedom slowly but surely as time goes by. Welcome to the era being watched 24/7. It is already here. It is here. And it's going, again, the whole think of the children angle is what is going to be used to get people to agree to it because they think they're doing it for the greater good. That's exactly, how this thing is going to be rolled out. Digital ID is going to happen because, oh no, guys, the internet's really dangerous for your kids. If you like kids and you want to keep kids out of danger, you better agree to being, under surveillance 24/7, or you hate children and you want them to be molested, don't you? Yeah, that's how they're going to do it. And I'm not saying there aren't problems. Trust me, there are a lot of problems in certain parts of the internet. I'm just saying that's what they're gonna use to get the general public to agree to it. Kind of like the Jedi, and Palpatine took over. It's like, oh look, the Jedi tried to kill everybody. They're really bad people, guys. We need to ban the Jedi, and then we need to go out and exterminate them all. You guys are cool with that, right? Thunderous applause. That's what's gonna happen here. These types of systems have zero regard for the privacy of domestic abuse and trafficking victims and hiding too. So many victims are gamers. They gather this data and it's more susceptible to breaches the abusers use to trace people. This is insane. That's probably true. If anyone thinks it's Ubisoft's fault, it's not. No, that's what I said. The states are becoming an authoritarian hellhole. Ubisoft are just a French company who, like many across the world, want to access the American market. We'll be seeing these stricter regulations across the board as time goes by, but also they're a French company with a huge investment from China. So, I'm just saying. K Turner Gaming says Ubisoft has a shitty website for me when it comes to account controls. I keep getting messages about other locations accessing my accounts in Europe and Asia. Well, that sounds like something else is going on there. Thank God I'll never touch a Ubisoft game ever again. Glad I haven't touched a Ubisoft game since I saw the end of Assassin's Creed 3. F that and F them. I just want to play video games, man. We need to go back to analog games. Well, analog digital games. We need to go back to like cartridges and discs and offline gaming is what we need to do. You buy it, you own it. It doesn't track you. You plug it in, you play it. Everything's good. I'm saying like somebody come up with a new offline gaming console with decent graphics and complete games, physical games. You'll make bank. But again, the profit's in the data, right? The profit is in you, the subscriptions. Every month you got to pay. Raul says, this makes me support privacy even more, and invading people's privacy will not protect kids. Correct. Just like how the Patriot Act didn't stop terrorists. I have thoughts on that. Yes, it's always for the greater good, and then you see what the real intention is behind it. And I'm going to be honest, I don't have a solution because I do think kids are being preyed upon online, right? I guess the best solution I could offer you as a parent is watch what your kids are doing online and be a damn parent. we wouldn't need laws like this, but I think they count on the general public being stupid and asleep and just, you know, you're gonna just whatever plop Timmy in front of the iPad, and if you don't want him to get trafficked, then you're gonna, you know, give us all this data, whatever. It's a ridiculous situation, and I think it's by design. I really do think that social media in general and all this, as soon as, again, like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. As soon as corporations and governments realize how the internet could be used or misused to control people, I feel like there was a plan that was set into motion. Let's make people dumb. Let's make people depend on it. Let's get people angry all the time by fighting on the internet all the time. And then let's create a problem, or at least turn a blind eye to a problem that exists, so we have a reason to take even greater control of these people. I'm just saying. That's just a theory I have. Or it could just be video games. You know, whatever. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.